let's talk about why founders fail. 98% of founders, I'm going to guess, start a business and fail. There's some stat like 99% of small businesses fail. Today, we're going to talk about why businesses fail. I'm John Coyle. I'm the VP of Marketing at Royo Bread. I've built and sold 2 companies. I'm here with Nick Shackelford, partner at Brez, head of retention at Brez. Also built and not sold any companies yet, but you've built multiple companies up to multiple 7 figures.
True.
In different areas, ecom, agency, etc. Right. And then Bart, who's like, why build multiple companies when you can just build one up to 8 figures, co-founder of Dad Gang. You guys ready to get into the questions?
I'm ready.
All right. The format is our listeners write us questions. We answer the questions and solve all of their problems, really.
Perfectly.
First time. You don't need therapy. You just need to write into our podcast and listen to it for a few minutes.
3 guys on a podcast.
Yeah, three white guys with mics. All right. So you said, this guy says, I've been wanting to start a business for a while, but I don't know what idea to pursue. How do you choose what business you get into? Well, if you're Nick, you just say, yep, I'll do that one.
Yeah.
And then I'll do the next one too. Well, no, but seriously, how do you choose? How do you assess opportunities, I think, is the question.
I feel like whether you're just starting into business is a little bit of a different spin because you actually don't know what you're good at.
He said, I've been wanting to start a business for a while.
Yeah, I was saying, okay, if I want to start a business, what is the thing that I know I'm pretty good at? Or what is the thing that I have a severe interest in? Mm-hmm. Because any business you do, there's also that you don't really want to do, but you have to do to make sure that the business works. And I think that's like being on the other side of doing many things. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I only did one thing really well for as long as I could. Just run ads. I didn't want to deal about anything else. I just ran ads.
Yeah.
You handling all the things for the thing. I don't know, you guys, obviously your launch story is like super unique, but like now you being in a position where like you have to do everything. What would you say to a first time founder or first time like free interest of business?
Yeah, that one's tough because I always thought I could start my own thing, but I never rushed it in a sense. It was like I worked in the agency life. I worked as a marketing director. I worked as a VP of marketing, various roles in marketing to the point where it was like, all right, at 35 years old, so doing that from like 22 to 35, I was like, I think I have enough reps that opportunity is going to meet experience, but I never rushed it. Like there was never like, this guy sounds like I've been wanting to start a business. So give me the idea or give me the way to find my idea. Mine was just like opportunity met preparation, kind of cheesy to say, but it is like what happened. And it was with like being in marketing for so long and then becoming a dad and then realizing like all this stuff in the dad space is like stuff I don't want to wear apparel wise. And I was like, I think I could make something that I would want to wear and EJ and Grant would want to wear and like you and millennial dads, you know, and then I was like, so let's try to make it. Like that was the approach. And I was passionate about being a father. Like when you first become a dad, it's like your new identity, you drop off, Nick, the guy without kids, because he doesn't exist anymore.
At all.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah. And so it was just like, okay, I've done this enough I think you have to respect yourself enough to be like, I've been doing this for so long that now I can take that leap. Or if I can't, then like, I'm not that good at this, And
I mean, I shouldn't do it. But you said you were marketing all the way up. So I think this is the key here is, you have to be in the ability to like sell or market or understand the two and the impact of those have. And then you can kind of jump into things because if I'm talking like, where's the first place I'm going to start? And I don't know what I want to do, but I know I want to be in business, probably going to work for an agency.
What I was going to say is if somebody brought you back to age 21 or 22 and you didn't, and you weren't a soccer player, and you weren't whatever you were doing at 21 or 22.
No, what were you doing?
Nothing. School?
Bart didn't exist.
Washington State University.
Bart didn't exist.
Sorry for what? It's the best time of my life.
Bart didn't exist at that age, dude. Bart just appeared out of nowhere 4 years ago. Did you notice that?
I did, yeah. Bart.
Yeah, I've never heard of
I'm not going to be, but I'm Bart.
Yeah, Bart. Yeah. But if somebody brought you back to that.
I got an X account a few years.
Bart's like, I've been in the industry for 12 years, and I'm like, how have we not heard of you?
He's like, I just like didn't want to yap, and I'm yapping.
No, I'm yapping.
This is the benefit of yapping. You just like figure out front.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. But if somebody brought you back to that age and it was like, I mean, when I was that age, the only thing I wanted to do was go to the Olympics, right? But if it was like, oh, the only thing I want to do is like be an entrepreneur, I wouldn't have been going and working for other people, I don't think. Do you know what I mean? And I think that I might have been unclear on like why I wanted to be an entrepreneur. What, like all of that stuff is like maybe stuff you learn as you go. And I guess I'm assuming this person's younger that's asking us, so maybe they aren't. But if somebody brought you back to that age, like what would you?
I would even then, I'd still probably go work for marketing. It was soccer. It was you're the only thing Olympics. I'm the only thing in sports.
You know,
I'm like, this is all I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. And I go, wait, I'm not gonna make any money at all, dude. Being an athlete, oh, let's say like you're the top tier.
Yeah.
And so like the next fastest thing is like kind of like I knew about some stuff online. I knew about these things that you can make with make money from home, mailbox money.
make that mailbox money.
Yeah.
Make money while you sleep.
Fidget.
Don't trade your time for money. Yeah.
No, trade others.
Trade others time.
For money. That's what I was on. Dude, this is you. I went the agency route because there's the fastest way to make money and like be very thoughtful and be creative. And I was like, wow. But it was never to be an entrepreneur.
Did you go work for an agency?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I would. I sort of this day. I don't think I would. This is why I'm not the CEO of any of these companies.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not an entrepreneur, start a business kind of guy. It's like I'm really good at growing the thing.
Yeah.
And being involved in it and getting team. So I want to believe more in the other person that wants to be that CEO.
Yeah.
That's it.
Some people are also like, yeah,
it's been years to find that.
Yeah. But like the 22-year-old question, like I had a bunch of friends going from college straight into, DocuSign or Amazon or Microsoft and like, not cookie cutter paths, but like instantly like, all right, I majored in like business admin and then I'm going to just jump into these like jobs in Seattle, corporate jobs.
Yeah.
And then my whole outlook on it was like, I've been super into like streetwear and hip hop and like sports and everything since I could remember. And so I was like, I want to work for a company that like is doing this, like in apparel. My first job was a streetwear brand and I was getting paid $300 a month out of college. And my parents were like, the hell are you doing?
$300 a month.
I'm blessed to have like my parents help with college. And they're like, what did we do? But my mentality was like, I'm going to throw myself either at an agency or a early brand to learn everything within that business.
Yes, dude.
Because if you can like, say, no disrespect to anybody that wants to go get the corporate Amazon job right out of college, but like you're going to get put in a department, you're going to get put into specifics and you're not going to hear anything else. Whereas like if you can throw yourself into a business early on and help build that company, then you're just going to learn everything from like manufacturing to ops to marketing to sales to design, creative, ads, all that stuff at once.
Yeah.
So I did that. It was a little scary because I was like, I have no money, $300 a month, like
low overhead though.
Nothing. I'd still live at home with my parents. And then I just leaned into that though. I was like, I'm either going to earn or learn. And I was like, I'd rather learn a lot more right now and then, move out at like 26.
Yeah. Okay. So if I'm going to distill it, I think the thing that you guys both are saying is that if I was like, oh, I want to start a business, I don't know which business to start, you guys would be like, well, I would just go work for someone to build the skills that it's going to take to start whatever business later.
Because the first thing you need is financial stability. Like you need to be covered there before you need to think about what you really want to be good at.
I think if it's a young person, I guess now I'm realizing like this could be somebody who's older and like has a family and stuff like that. So I think if it's like someone who's young and they're like, I want to start a business, what's the right opportunity here? I think you got to come past path number one is like you said, like just go get a job somewhere where you're going to work with people who are more in the start phase.
Yeah.
So that's the network you'll build and that's the skill that you'll build. Right. So that's good. I like that. Or start something that from a fulfillment standpoint is very easy to understand and build the skill of getting customers. So like I literally might start a poop scooping business or something like that and just go door knock or just run Facebook ads locally for that or something like build the muscle of getting customers so that you're comfortable with that. But then make the product or thing you're selling very easy to understand and easy to fulfill. Like anybody can detail cars, anybody can go pick up poop, anybody like not as much as it's like a lot of people are like, well, no, so shouldn't you start something with AI or whatever? I'm like, I don't know that I'd want to be building AI skills and also building the skill of getting customers and doing sales. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed. Yeah.
So I think I'd want to build the skill of getting customers and getting sales. So I'd either go work for a company that does that with like earlier stage companies, or I would start a business where it's like, oh, the fulfillment's very easy. Like I know how to wash windows. You know?
I think to your response earlier is like, this guy's probably passionate about something. Right.
Yeah.
And what is it? And then like, what is he pretty good at? Like if you can marry those two, I think you can think of your business.
Yeah,
so like
it's a good frame.
For me, I'm like been in marketing. I think I'm okay at it. And then I enjoy apparel and I'm a brand new dad and I'm noticing a gap in the space. Like that's literally the formula for me. That's what happened for us. And it was like, so I was just like, all right, I'm good at marketing. Here's a gap. I think I could do that. And then that developed into starting a business. And I think this guy probably has at least one thing that he's like super interested in or has a hobby around or is just passionate about. And then he's probably good at either sales, marketing, ops, or something else.
So that was what I was going to say. If you're older, then you have some skills that you've built.
Yeah.
And those skills have to apply to one side of either fulfilling or getting customers, right? So either supplying or getting demand. So if you're an accountant or something like that, then you're going to have to probably sell accounting services, or you're going to have to, because you already know.
Or be a private CPA for brands.
Yeah.
You're still selling services.
Yeah. You're going to have to sell something that you know how to fulfill so that you can focus your learning on like getting customers for the business. Or if you know how to get customers like you did, that's the skill you had, then you're like, okay, now I'm going to figure out how to like go source these hats, how to put the designs on them. Like you're going to figure out a whole bunch of them. That's the side you're going to learn, you know, and so you can apply. So that's, I think, the main thing. Even if you're older, it's like you got to apply your skills and background to one part of it. Mm-hmm. I also know a guy who worked at a corporate, like not Amazon, but something like that. And, he was able to launch his brand really easily because he had all these inroads to major retailers.
Yeah.
He had worked at, you know, and so it's like he launched like a cookware brand into major retail because he'd been a buyer. He'd been a buyer at a major retailer for like a lot of years and had just knew all of the buyers, you know? And so
let's be careful.
You got to use your background on one side of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either the supplier or
that's your leverage.
Yeah.
What is your leverage point?
So then if you don't have a background, if you're young, you don't have a background, then one side's got to be just very easy. Solved. There you go. All your problems are solved. Life. Do you find like some tactical advantages to Attentive? Maybe specifically for email, but we can get into text as well.
They're rolling out a ton of different AI tools right now, but like the two that I've been testing and using have been one of them is like the pre-engagement before getting an email. So a lot of brands will say like, hey, do you want 15% off? And give us your email and your phone number. That's kind of like the standard go-to. Don't have to think about it too much engagement before you get an email. But Attentive actually does a lot of case studies and does a lot of research for you and recommends what you should be doing with your retention strategy. And so they recommended some pre-engagements before you ask for the discount. And we started using that and have seen a significant lift in people that actually give you your email if you ask them one more question before asking them if you want a discount. And
can you give me an example? What's the example that you use?
So an example of some pre-engagement is like, would you like to learn more about Dad Gang, or would you like to get VIP access to Dad Gang exclusive releases?
Interesting. It's not even an offer. Like, would you like to learn more? Is like, I wouldn't assume that would increase conversion, but you're finding putting that in front of just saying, opt in for your 20% off or your 10% off. You put that question in front of it, it increases your conversion rate from all the people who see it.
Yeah.
Wow. What are your thoughts on finding co-founders? Should you go solo? If not, how do you find co-founders? Interested in your answers for SaaS agency and ecom brand. So this is just,
then we can hit all of them.
Yeah. And the co-founders for SaaS, I don't know if I know as much, but like, it's probably similar principles.
Similar thing.
Let's go to you first. You've done it a bunch of times.
I love this. So I think there's levels of relationship that you can go towards, and I'm going to try to get this in order. You have similar interests. You have like the deeper you can go with the person that you know is the further you can go with that. That's the frame. Okay. Similar interests, morals aligning, similar beliefs. I've made a lot of money with. I've also lost a lot of money with. All those things, the deeper you go in these different stages, the amount of trust you have when things go right, wrong, or get difficult. That goes with your personal partner, that goes with your business partner. And now you need to not go through all of those in a short period of time. So like it's gonna take time for you to know like this is a person I want to build with. When I look back at all my partnerships, we've done all of those things over many, many, many years. But the initial reason why we got together is because we both had a similar interest and our morals were aligned.
Okay.
At its core. Like those two were like instantly checked. And then we both had complementary but different skill sets.
Okay.
That's it. That to me is more than enough to get things done. And if I look at all the partners, every single CEO that we have, all the way down, they have been a supporter or an opposite of what it is that I am.
What like an opposite of what it is that you are. So you're value aligned. Like
correct.
And when you say value aligned, you're like not talking about the values of the business or whatever. You're talking about like your personal values are aligned.
Yeah.
You can more or less say like, look, are you a person who wants to grow something to $1 billion? Are you a person who wants to like the business support your lifestyle? Like you can kind of get value aligned that way. But then you're saying when they're like might be opposite but complementary to you, or like because I think you said they might have a crossing over skill set, but different. They could have an adjacent or opposite skill set. It's something you said something like that.
They have a correct. It empowers your unique. Like I'm incredible at sales. I'm incredible at media. I'm incredible at attention. But all the partners that I have probably do it or lead a team that does it. So it's like they don't need to do what we do, and then what they do, they're usually incredible at ops from vision. Okay, cool. We all can do those things together, but they're just better at it.
Yeah.
And so when we have feedback or can have conversations around it, it's a really nice about that's thoughtful. I understand how you're doing those things, but you can also have real input in each way. If you have no idea, like this dude handles all the finances, I have no idea what about the finances are. It's really difficult for you to keep them in check, keep them aligned, and have conversations. So it can't be so different than you're basically going, I hope they're doing it right.
Do you think it's different for an agency, for an ecom brand?
Yeah. So specifically, if we go to brand and run the brand, but on the agency side specifically, I don't think you have to go on the partnership side. I think you want to go partnership side and someone be primarily sales and lead generation, and the other one primarily operations and fulfillment.
Yes.
That is the sexiest.
That's how I would do agency as well.
If you don't know that you're about to pay a bag either way, you go to sales, so you don't have to pay immediate commissions at the beginning, and then you put the other person that you find, a very good operational person, a very good process person, inside and incentivize them on growth and retention. That's the only real way you're doing that at the gym.
Yeah. And I actually like an agency. I either tell people, hey, if you're starting an agency with a friend early on or like a co-founder, great. Yeah. One of you take ops, one of you take sales, and feel like we're both ops, or one of you take fulfillment.
You got to figure out who it is.
You got to figure it out. Yeah. And then if I talk to somebody who's a little ways down the road of starting an agency, then I tell them to do what I did, which is like, once I was a little ways down the road, I just started networking and making friends until I found somebody who was good at the biz dev side. Because I had gotten into it by just having some connections, freelancing, and then I just naturally built fulfillment.
Yep.
And when you're building the fulfillment, it's very hard to like put the focus into biz dev and sales. So I partnered with Van, who like he was at a brand, and so he had the trust of brands a little bit more, and he could do the biz dev a little bit better. And so, I think every agency I've seen work well has a partnership that does that.
Yeah.
What do you think's harder to like do after the fact? Probably find a biz dev person.
Not even just finding it, but like knowing how to pay them.
Yeah.
Because like your ops at the beginning is probably not fleshed out. So you're probably going to onboarding as many as you could. You're going to set those on the table because you're trying to make sure fulfillment's good. So then you're going to throttle a guy in the front. And if he's a partner trying to make as much money, or someone that's highly paid, it's kind of a sitch.
This person asked solo founder or co-founder. I think for agency, I would do co-founder, but I would be very selective. Yeah. You're ready to jump into stuff with people more than I am.
Yeah, because this is 15 years. Dude.
Yeah.
Like I think I've just seen enough where I'm like, even if this goes bad, like look, some of these partnerships have not been great. For sure. But the worst that could be, I'm like,
it's true. You had a really bad one early on with Not a really bad one.
I-
I had soccer gloves, like what didn't go great. And
I-
I think you were like, okay, that's
Yeah,
what
but-
happens if it's bad.
That's why even this one, the most recent one we're going through right now, like it's a challenge with cost of partnership. I'm like, oh, worst case is this. Like if you can like project where you're going to land, it's not bad. I'm curious to
Yeah,
you
go ahead. Yeah, Bart.
got close
Yeah.
people in the brain.
Yeah. We're like the total opposite of like, don't work with your friends or family.
Yeah, you're like, no, only for
Yeah. Well, for us, it's a 3-man team, and that like lane separation you mentioned earlier is so important. So I would say when you get to a point where you find a thing that you're probably not good at, like for us, we have this like buzzword, or we just use the word lane when somebody else is not in theirs.
Mm.
We don't use it often, but like if and we usually just say it as like bros like messing with each other.
Stay in the lane, right?
Yeah, but like but I do everything on the D2C side, marketing, brand, content. Grant is all sales, retail, leads the whole customer service team, did it by himself forever, like insane job, contracts, all that kind of stuff. And then EJ is all ops. And we don't even they don't ask me like really like, hey, you know, what are you doing with this ad, or what email's going out today? They don't even ask because they're so focused in their own lanes that, you know, we meet up or text it out and like, hey, this happened today, blah, blah, blah. And that's about it. But like staying separate, like stop running into each other's like jobs is so important because you trust each other. And I trust these two are like my best friends.
Yeah.
Grant and I went to college together, known each other since 2008. He was in my wedding, like just brothers. And then EJ we met shortly after. And those guys have started their own ventures before Dad Gang and have been involved. EJ's been in ops for, I don't know, way longer than I've been in marketing. And Grant's been in sales like since he was a little kid, worked at a store. Like I know these guys are epic at what they do already. And then the like moral alignment was just there. Like we're all men of faith, men of family. Like we don't have this like greed factor. We all look like things I mentioned earlier where we're like, why get bigger? Like let's stay here and grow slow, or like let's stay at our jobs. Everybody's forced to jump. Like EJ's still working at his job and nobody's like, well, I think it's time, you know, like just keep doing your thing. Like nobody's greedy for like the goal that you might make up tomorrow that like, I think we need to be a $30 million brand. Right. So we all align around that, and we all align around like, we're doing this to empower like our fatherhood community and grow that, and then help ourselves along the way, but not to the point where like, you know, we need jets and all these like crazy flexes you see on Twitter and across social media. So I would really like, if you have good friends that you trust and you are aligned with, and they are experts in certain fields, try it. I would say try it and trust. I mean, trust has to be there. I think business partnerships are somewhat of a marriage.
For sure.
Like once you get
Financial one at least.
once you get into it, like you have to be aligned across everything. And so for me, like I think we got really lucky, like 3 best buds that were like able to start a brand. But then like looking for a co-founder, if this guy like doesn't have good friends around him.
That's what I was gonna say. How do you find that?
Yeah, that's where I think like you run into do it solo for as long as you can. Then you find this like lane where like, oh, I've never done this. And then look for a person that's an expert in that field, like you did. Go network, make friends that are good at this stuff, and look that way. Because I think you can go solo for a while.
Actually, this ties to the last one, because what I'm hearing from you guys is value alignment and skills that cover different parts of the business.
Yeah.
So like you didn't start a brand until you could do it until you could like very simply launch it and then do it with people who did the things that you didn't really know how to do well. It's like, I mean, I sourced these hats, but like, I'm not really an ops guy. I'm not really a product designer, you know? And then you're like, okay, well, I know some people who could do that. And what I'm hearing is it's like value alignment. Like we're all on the same page about, you know, how we should get I think high level value alignment is good, but even just stuff like how we should get paid, like what our salaries should be, how we should do profit distributions, etc.
Yeah.
Right. We're all good with all that. Great. What happens if one of us gets addicted to drugs or dies or something like that? Like, we all good with all that? Great.
They can't do much if you die.
So like, or like, what happens to your stake in the business? Does it, like what happens to your family? Do they get a payout? Do we buy them out? How does that work? As long as you get on board with all that and everybody's like, yep, cool, check. Then I think that what you're saying is like skill set, not the same skill sets.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it ties to the first question, where it's like, if you've got to do a solo founder thing to start, either the acquisition or fulfillment side of the business needs to be very, very easy and simple to understand for you, or you have to have like a strong skill set already in one side of it. So I think the same thing would apply to SaaS. It's like, you need to have a technical co-founder. You need to have like more of a sales and biz dev type co-founder. One side is fulfillment. One side is demand generation.
I think SaaS probably requires a co-founder faster.
Yeah. Something that's more product focused.
Like, you can't really, I just from like,
not a lot of
you can run
technical,
solo for too long.
not a lot of technical people are also good at like raising and selling.
Yeah. Or even like lead gen, like if you're doing like signups and stuff, like a lot of these people's marketing playbooks, if you're just product focused, it's just, we launch.
I don't think there's too many people that are like devs and sales, and
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's
It
true.
exists,
I think
sure.
that's true of ecom too. I don't think there's a lot of people who are like really good at like product sourcing and stuff, in marketing, and so that I think it's either don't start a business where you have to like learn both sides at the same time.
Yeah.
One of the brands that I talked to he's an engineer, and he made like a pretty cool product. Like that side, he's good at product, and then he just kind of like learned marketing, right? That you can totally do.
Yeah.
But
And that's what the coaches really do. Like, you solo founded until I think I talked to you.
You solo founder, then you never.
100%.
Yeah.
I think I think of the people that I'm coaching or people that I get talk to regularly, they're all a different problem, and most of them are solo founders. And I'm used as the co-founder. I'm used as like, I'm going to thought work with you.
Yeah. I mean, that's
the
you,
value.
the skill set.
You can, I think we said this on another topic, but you could, without having a full-on co-founder, you can hire an advisor.
Yes.
Like a once a month ops guy.
I would have done that way earlier, bro.
Yeah.
We had the masterminds back in the day.
Yeah.
But now there's so much access to, I think, one of the platforms, talk to like multi-billion-dollar founders in like 30 minutes for this guy. What's his name went viral? It's like $24,000 an hour. Did you see this?
Who?
It's an edutainment.
Oh, Patrick Pitt.
Dude, I think it's like $48,000 for an hour.
Yeah, no, I know.
People pay it.
And people probably do pay it. That's wild.
YouTubers pay it so they can make a YouTube video about it.
I mean, and you're right at that point. But wow. Good question.
Yeah, it is a good question. It's actually similar to the first question. It's like, you just can't learn both sides or all three sides of a business at the same time.
You can, but it won't be great.
Yeah, no, it's
really difficult.
Yeah, put us on game to more segments that most people wouldn't think of on the app.
Yeah, I think one strong segment is like people that have even subscribed to your app within the last 30 days. Like, you really want that segment to stick around, and you really want to engage them with the app. So like, if you have like a recent adapters to the app segment, you need to make the app worth it like as fast as possible. So it's free, not like worth it in a monetary sense, but just people are a lot more stingy around what apps they put on their phone. I think we want less of those squares on our phone. So that segment is one that you want to give a lot of value to right out the gate, and making sure those people are entertained pretty much within your app, and they keep it within their phone. And then another segment is like, people that do purchase every time from the app. There's people that actually, like, opposite to what you just said, but there's people that only shop on the app. So make sure that those segments are strong and building those out. And then high value customers, of course, like people that have bought over 10 hats via app. Like they probably don't need the other messaging as much because they just do everything through there.
We've been talking a lot about how to drive revenue through your app this season. You use Fuego for the Dowd Gang app. We highly recommend Fuego amongst all of the e-commerce D2C company app builders. So go check out Fuego. That's going to be linked up in the description of the show and all that good stuff. All right, back to the show. I'd love to know if y'all have burnout stories.
Yeah.
I've always been super motivated, and we've been very blessed this year with growth. as we've grown, I find myself less and less motivated to go to work.
I'm currently at work phase. Like I'm currently burning out, I think I would say. So this is very, very relative to me. I think the whys that I have in my life, family, the community that's being built, economic opportunity, and people I'm doing it with are justifying the still staying in the suck more than normal. I think beforehand when I hit burnout, when I was just an agency or things were really tough,
Yeah.
I would jokingly call it, oh, it's my seasonal depression. Because it would happen at the same time. I'd be probably overwhelmed. And I'm like, dude, this is not depression. This is literally burnout.
Yeah.
And now when it's the most intense it's ever been across every element of my life, I'm not
You still feel locked in.
panicking. I'm not like, yeah, this is okay. We got this. So I think that combination of the why went through. So overall, the only thing that got me out of it was movement of the body.
This person didn't ask a question. They just said their situation. Yeah.
Yeah, I do 2,000 calls a day.
Yeah. You
do
said
that?
you said moving to the body. I heard something once and I'm like, oof, I like that. If you want to fix your brain, move your body. Or like if you want to, if you're trying to fix your like thoughts or your brain, then do something with your body. If you're trying to fix your body, you got to fix your brain. Right. So it's like if you're getting fat, it's not your body. You know what I mean? It's something in your head.
Yeah.
If you're
Exercise is like 5% of the equation.
right. Yeah. If you're but if you're like burnt out or something like that or depressed or whatever, then move your body. And I'm like, that's pretty true. That's like just a pretty good like
Yeah, the Kill Crew guys are always like, the gym is my psych ward.
Yeah.
yeah. So
They spend as much as they can outside if they can.
Yeah.
I have a story that's similar to this one. I can't remember what year it was. It was at the year I started working before I started working with you, Nick.
2019?
Could have been. Yeah, I think it was. Dude. It's that when we started working together in 2020.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So
COVID cousins.
in 2019 I had a big Black Friday, and in December I sent out invoices to just a handful of clients, but it was just me and one person on my team. I know two people, me and two other people on my team plus Van. So I guess 4 total, but Van worked fully on percentage of revenue. And we billed about 175,000 or 275,000, somewhere in there. I can't remember. It was something 75. And for 4 people. And so it was like my cut from that whole thing was like, oh, this is a whole year or two of salary that I just made.
Yeah.
And like those invoices came in, got paid. And then I stopped being able to walk into my office. Like I would open the door and it was like there was a shield that I could not pass. My wife was like, just go in there and like just answer the messages you need to answer or whatever. And I'm like, I can't go in there. There's toxic gas in there.
No, yeah.
You know, like if I go in there, I cannot breathe. And she's like, well, what if you open the window or change the lighting or just clean up or whatever? And I'm like,
No, it's not literal gas.
No, it's not actual gas. It's like I go in there and I cannot breathe. The chair is bad. She's like, get a new chair. And I'm like, you're not understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just can't be in there. And I don't, to this day, I don't know how to describe what happened any other way than the way I just did. You know what I mean? And you did, at one point after I started working with you, I think that next fall, 2020, you were kind of saying something like that. And I'm like, oh, dude, you just got to like change your environment, like do something like this will get really bad.
Yeah.
But for me, it followed just like a big windfall. And I think the main thing that the best I've been able to sort this out is that if you're motivated by running away from something and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I got away from it, then it really changes your daily behavior. You know, so if the whole reason I've been doing this daily behavior of coming into my office and grinding it out is because I'm running away from, being poor or not being able to pay the bills or something like that. And all of a sudden I go, oh, I'm not going to have that problem maybe ever again, or at least for a while. Then it changes your behavior. So I think that's really what, if you say like, oh, we've been really blessed, I've always been super motivated. I'm like, well, you're probably motivated by either wanting to prove yourself or being afraid of like financial instability or something like that. And now you just no longer need to fear that. Like you've beat it.
Yeah.
And you just don't know what you're motivated by anymore. So like you said, my whys are still strong enough that I can keep doing this. That's my best guess at this, because I still was like, that was such a weird phenomenon, like where I like just could not walk in there. I remember just laying on the ground outside my office. My wife was like, dude, you're such a pussy. Yeah. Like, get up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I cannot go in there.
I've definitely felt that. I think the way Dad Gang is ran now is because of my burnout experience. It's like I was at an agency for 2 years, head of growth for 30 brands in 2 years, managing paid influencer, email, SMS, creative, organic, and everything else that falls into running a business. So I was like the head of every team for 30 brands. And I'm grateful for that experience because learned everything. Yeah, I was like, you want to get put into a spiral of every business ever, especially in D2C. Here it is. Chinese clients and calls at 8 p.m. That lasted until 10:30 at night, you know, not speaking to my wife because I'm on calls all day. And then client demand, every client's in Slack, every client has my phone number, every client has my email, pissed off clients, happy clients, like just the emotional roller coaster of depending on a CEO to be happy with our service every single day. And to the point where I like slowly started working on my escape.
Yeah.
By like, I was a director of marketing for a skincare company after that, but it was like, that was real burnout. And I kept telling myself, like, I'm not just going to use the term burnout because I have a lot of work. I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
But you still like, you know, maybe you're cranking 8 hours a day, but you still have time for family stuff. You still have time for personal stuff. I didn't have any of that. And so because of that, I was like, okay, I just experienced like so many ego decisions in the agency world. So many CEOs and founders like being upset because the goal they made up a month ago isn't being hit, but they made it up because they thought it was a good number.
Yeah.
They didn't make it up because
they call it projections.
Yeah, but
it's just like,
projections.
I like what you called
by
it.
Anything.
I like what you called it. The goal they made up. Yeah. Which is what
they saw a tweet that said you should jump from 5 to 10 million. They're like, I saw this. We got to do this now. And so that stuff made me, when we started Dad Gang, we're once again on alignment. We're like, we will not invent stress. Like when something is coasting along and doing well, don't go look for aggressive scale. Like I don't believe like if you want to build a business that sustains your life and makes you happy, I think we all want to do something that makes us happy. We're not going to be doing well and then go find a new problem.
Yep. Yeah.
And so that's what I was like, and I saw that at the agency like all the time. I was like, somebody would be like, we did $1 million last month and we're profitable and everybody's happy and we have great content, but that's not enough.
Always.
You know, and that
The shoes always gonna drop.
yeah. And it was like, in my mind, I was like, that is enough.
Yeah.
Like keep doing that over and over again. And in the like organic relaxation around that, you are going to probably grow your business in a better way. And so, yeah, my burnout helped lead to this casual like way to operate Dad Gang, because I don't want that anymore. I don't want to feel that ever again. And I would walk into my office during the agency world, home office, same thing.
Anxiety.
Just like cold sweats.
There's toxic gas in here. Yeah.
Yeah, like texting my wife, hey, can you bring me a plate?
Yeah.
You know, because I can't like, when she's working, she's a teacher, like she's got her own things. And like, hey, just realize it's 3 and I haven't eaten anything. Can you like whip me up some eggs?
She's like, yeah, I'm not doing anything. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay. So he asked for stories. I don't know, he or she, I don't know this one because they didn't put any other information. Maybe stories help. Here's like the best thing that I think I can come up with on this in terms of advice or anything, or the stuff I've learned from this is, I think that everybody has an infinite fuel source. And when you get burned out, it's because you're burning a different fuel source. So what I mean by that is if I go back to my childhood, like what's always motivated me is, so I was always an athlete. What always motivated me is like, oh, I want to be able to see a scoreboard of where I am. Right. And so even in like baseball, it's like the thing that always bugged me about baseball is that like, am I the 3rd best second baseman in the league or the 5th best? You know, and then like, my batting average is better than all of them, or like what, it's not like, so there's certain stats that would show me where I am, but it's like, I want like a competition, right? I want to be able to put it on the board and say like, oh, I'm like getting better at this. And not even always in comparison to other people, but that's just, people say don't compare yourself. I'm like, but the only way you know anything is by comparing. Nick, are you a tall guy?
Compared to?
Yeah. You're 6 feet. So, like you're taller than average. But how do you know if you're a tall guy or not? Only by seeing other people and how tall they are, right?
Yeah.
So like anyway, that's a little on the side, but I realized like, okay, one thing that fuels me is like a scoreboard. Another thing that fuels me has always been like a hard game. Like some people are like, well, just start an easier business, you'll make more money. I'm like, that's just not how I operate. What do I want to do right now? It's like, I want to build a really big podcast. Super hard game. Like one of the hardest things to do. There's so many easier ways to like build a business, but I'm like, I don't know, but that was the one that interests me. And what else does it have? It has like a very clear scoreboard of like views and subscribers and stuff like that. Right. So this is just infinite fuel that's always fueled me.
Yeah.
And I think anytime you're burning out, you're burning a different fuel source. That's the best thing I've ever come up with. I don't know if it's true or not, but
You're
there's
like
probably
running on regular, but burning diesel, kind of.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. Or you're just like an electric car that's out of battery.
I think people really need to gauge what a real burnout is.
That's true. Sometimes people throw the word burnout around when they really just mean I'm working too much. But if they're using the word burnout, I'm like, people can work a lot and not feel burnt out.
Yeah, I know some people that are currently burning out hard, but they don't consider it that.
Yeah, I'm living that right now. I don't consider burnout, but I'm like, I know this.
Compared to like a normal operator, they probably like call it at this point.
But do you think that you're burning the right fuel source? Do you know what I mean? It's like the thing that really motivates you is motivating you right now.
This injection,
It's inject that ROAS straight in your veins.
I think sometimes like the level of stress you're willing to maintain is directly correlated to the level of success you should have. And if you drop something like that and you're like that, dude, okay, so if I can withstand this, there's bigger things coming from me.
Yeah.
When? I don't know, but you got to hold on until that part hits.
But you have to actually want that, is what I'm saying. So if you, like, there's some infinite motivation where you're like, dude, I'm just always motivated like this. It is a fuel source for me. And that's what I mean, is that it's like, that's what you got to get aligned. And then you'll just like kind of never feel burnt out.
I agree. You'll feel tired.
Yeah. Tired and burnt out.
I also think you need to plan a quarterly thing. You talk about seasons, like all of us have played sports into a level. And you like, there's a preseason, there's a season, there's a postseason, there's like different seasons of our life.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I just know this is a part of this specific season.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. It's preseason. We're stretching. And then you can like kind of little cruise control, play the game, stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you really lock in again.
Oh, yeah.
So like if you apply that to the seasons of business, it is very appropriate to levels of stress that you should be withstanding as things get more intense.
Yeah.
So if you know, like, is this the right season? If your feeling is correct to the season in which you're like participating in business,
yeah,
you can justify that.
Yeah, you should like have it designed like intentional breaks too.
Bro,
I'm literally going on a trip like the Tuesday after Cyber Monday, just because it's like
by design. Yeah,
it's over.
I have to go.
Yeah,
I think also it doesn't need to be a trip. It could be a staycation. It could be
just something that's a true break.
That's why I think you have to think about it on a little treat on a quarterly basis.
Yeah.
Because humans need something to run towards. You need something.
Yeah. Do you think if the kids come with you, is it a vacation?
No, it's a trip.
No.
Yep. That's the exact words I use too. There's trips and vacations. Trips, the kids are there.
Yeah. But we're bringing grandparents, so it might be a little bit.
It's a little bit better.
Yeah.
We do
I've also heard like
certain
things like cruises and stuff are pretty good because there's like daycare that they really like going to, or there's like stuff they really like. Yeah, that's a different podcast. All right, a couple more, 2 more. We're the exact right guys to answer this one. I'm a female founder of a SaaS / productized service.
Where's Zoe?
I feel our space is very male dominated, and sometimes I get the sense I lose deals because of it. How do I win more deals or turn this into an advantage? Do you think she could be losing deals because of it, first of all? Actually, maybe we don't speak to that because we don't know.
I think it's an easy place to fall into out of what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, let me start there. I'm not saying you're not losing deals. You could be. Your sense could be right. I would probably, if it were me, I would try and not think that, even if it's true.
I'll give you the next scale of natural deals lost based upon the way you look and sound. Like this is like based off my experience of this many calls, closes, people I've talked to. If you sound foreign and Middle Eastern, Asian, Indian, like if you
Filipino.
sound this type of direction, the chances of you getting the deal closed is a little bit less.
Yep.
Then you add in like gender, and then you add in color, the darkness you are, the lightness you are. Like there are scales to like you won't close as many as a normal white male.
Yeah.
With an American accent.
Yeah. And I have also heard
That
that
happens.
white female American accent is the best thing to be for closing.
I know specifically.
I've heard that.
I know specifically out of split tests of people doing fake profiles on LinkedIn with white female AI generated images that close more and book more
Oh, I've done this.
than males.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Messages.
game recognizes game. So I see, I'm like, that is
Damn.
a setter and that woman is not real. And I opened this.
Yeah.
Extremely not.
Usually. No. They're not actually hot. They're not.
Oh, they're not. Okay.
No. They're not usually hot. They're usually like attractive enough.
They're like the right kind of a
True. I get the ones that are like
smoke shows.
what, like Victoria's Secret runway. I'm like,
And her name is Svetlana.
not real.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
is Svetlana. No, this is good. I think yes, but also I also know some savage women that close way better than that.
Okay. Her question was, and I think our answer is like, well, what's your offer? And we don't know that. SaaS/productized service is all we know. Her question, I think, is kind of the right one. She's thinking in the right direction of like, if I'm feeling like this is an advantage, she said, how do I win more deals or turn this into an advantage? Which I'm like, okay, I've been thinking directionally. I think that's one way, very tactically, that it's like, there are a ton of split tests on outreach, and I don't know how she's getting leads, but there's a ton of split tests on outreach that shows that woman will book more deals on outreach, on LinkedIn outreach. There's also like, I know a lot of coaches, consultants will split test women in their ads versus themselves in their
I have
ads.
an offer that's literally women in ads over my.
Yeah, exactly. I think her name's VSL Queen or something like
it
that.
is, it
Yeah.
is.
And she's like, yeah, we've like tested this a bunch of times. Of course, that's her offer. But like, I know some guys, the coaches and consultant guys are like, yep, it's true. Like a woman in the ad, even like if it's going to be me on the training, even if it's me on the landing page, the woman in the ad still does better. So I think, the way a very tactical way I would turn it into advantage, it is like, well, you could probably get more in the front end of the funnel than a male co-founder or a male founder could, right? So that's probably what, if you feel like you're losing more deals because of it, just be like, okay, well, I can put more into the top of the funnel. I can get more leads. I can get more calls. And if I have to take 10 calls to close 2 deals, where a man would only take 10 calls to close 3 deals, that means I'm just going to have to put in
Increase
50% into the top, 50% more into the top of the funnel.
and also split test that. Like there's also She Sells, who's a savage.
I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah.
He leans into it.
Yeah, I think you got.
How does she lean into it?
Whole thing is about selling as a woman.
I think
She only coaches women.
I think she needs a.
You can't, like, literally, you can't be a guy and sign up for a course.
What you think she just needs a better coach?
I think she probably needs better selling coach. I think she probably needs some.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
Well,
it'll
then,
be
like,
sad.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Result.
Does she say, oh, there are advantages to being a woman in sales, or is she just like,
she does.
Well, and she came from like pest control
oh
sales.
yeah,
Door to door.
which is door to door? Yeah.
Yeah, and she noticed that. I think I talked to her briefly, but she noticed that she was killing it on her own, but was getting a little 5%, kickback, but was leading her company in the sales of it, which usually you don't actually like. I've done pest control like for my home. Never has a woman showing up. It's always
No,
some
it's
early
always
dude.
Yeah.
It's like, let's give her your.
It's always
spiders.
dudes.
But
It's always dudes recruited from colleges.
Yeah, stomp on them yourself. But
It's always Mormon dudes recruited from top colleges.
But no, she noticed like I'm leading the sales funnel of this company, and like I need to go branch off and do this on my own. And then she did that, and then started coaching women how to sell SaaS and a bunch of other different stuff. So, yeah, I think I feel a little strange being a male telling like a woman
I know
what to do
I do
in
too.
business, but I think leaning into it also could be a good move.
Yeah. A coach like She Sells or I feel like I can't really say much else.
Yeah,
Like, here's a tactical thing I happen to know.
The reason why I'm thinking about it is like I coach women. I have
Yeah.
women
I have women and
talk about this too.
Yeah.
It's not a skill issue. Like they're just as comfortable.
Sure.
Sometimes more incredible on the male side.
Yeah.
It's probably an offer. It's probably an offer, or it's probably the positioning. Yeah, that's a perfect situation where I do need.
I know. I
a
need
coach. I
yeah.
need someone that can like review this, look at this thing, doing it.
Yeah. The positioning of the product or the offer. Yeah, exactly. All right. Next one. I have a creative agency. I've been able to get it to multiple six figures, but I feel stuck in that. I don't quite make enough to hire and get out of the day to day to focus on lead generation, but I'm stretched really thin.
It's a grind, dude.
That's the tough agency zone for sure.
Yeah, that is the.
You don't have reliable lead flow, so you can't just kind of like scale.
Solo agency.
Yeah. So this is what happens is that you kind of build some skills you network around, and I guess I'm projecting a bunch here, but you build some skills you network around, and you get some work from that. And so your work kind of comes from your network, and you're kind of doing this thing where you're like doing lead gen by like being involved in communities, posting online, going to some events, but you're also in the day to day fulfilling. So you can't do too much of that lead gen stuff. And you're not like all the way in the fulfillment, building really good systems.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't feel like you can hire someone because you're like, well, if I lose a client, like I can't reliably bring in a client to like feed, to make sure that they're going to stay fed. And or maybe you can hire like really like a overseas person to help with some junior stuff.
Yeah.
But not you. So I think that's where they kind of are, is that it's like just in that, how do I get out of that zone?
Can you tap like I try to look for like the easiest solution, but can you tap like a friend or somebody that is close to that understands the industry, not even co-founder, like just be a simple commission-based lead person.
Yeah, that could be it.
Somebody that's down for that, like
there's
put
also
in like 10 hours a week to just always be looking, and then that'll create a funnel for them a little bit.
There's also services, like there's outreach and lead gen, like call setting services that he could maybe look into. Look, give me your thoughts on this. I think my theory on like hiring those services for an agency is that like, depending on the niche or whatever, but my thought on hiring those services for an agency is that it's like, it's a core competency. I don't think you're going to be able to outsource it well. I think you're going to get unqualified leads. I don't know. I remember when
There's vibes of certain agencies too. Like you only want to work with streetwear brands or apparel, or I don't know.
This is a creative agency. So look, I'm guessing I don't know.
Look, the beauty of this agency that he's at is like it has a skill of creation and distribution of assets. Like I feel, although creative agencies are really commoditized, you have the ability to do good organic lead gen if you're consistent in creating correctly.
Yeah.
We watch Forrest do this. We watch Static Club. We watch a handful of guys come up and down. And even to a degree, for us on Constant, we win because we explain and show what we do from an asset creation standpoint.
Yeah.
So I think this area that he's stuck in is really difficult because he's probably charging the most that he feels he can charge, which is not true. I'm going to charge more. Build himself a little bit of space to hire someone that's commission based. And also I think this is another investment of help me build the system. I'm willing to invest and pay you a setup fee and ongoing coaching for me to kind of use it internally.
Yeah.
You can't outsource the actual leads being generated, but you can outsource the building of the system to get the leads going. Because this is a deal flow issue. If you don't feel confident enough in going to spend the money to hire the person to get you out of the day-to-day, which is usually fulfillment and client management, which is a very important role, whether it's account manager or it's people operations, it's because you don't confidently believe you can hire this against the revenue that you have coming in.
Yeah.
That's the only
It is what it is. Or you don't feel the revenue is reliable enough.
So what do? You know what? I'm stacking cash for a quarter.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make a point of like, I'm going to make a bet. And this is a leap of faith move.
Yeah.
But if it gets me out of it, guess what I can do? I can generate more leads, get more deal flow. So you do need to get that person to manage the ongoing. Hey, look, you're going to lose some clients. The fulfillment, you're going to lose some people.
You are, yeah.
The moment you decide I'm not full-time focused on this is the moment you start giving a percentage of retention.
Yeah.
That's just name of the game, dude. But you need the deals.
Let me just say how you solved this and how I solved this. You did it for structure, how I did it for EGM.
Yeah.
The way that you did it is that you had a co-founder from the beginning. So Jake was more fulfillment focused. You were more biz dev focused.
Yeah.
Right. The way that I did it was similar to how Bart has done Dad Gang. I got a little ways down the road, and then I had a friend, childhood friend, whose value aligned with me, who was completely raw, had never worked in it at all before, but I just knew was
The trust was there.
smart, and I trusted him and stuff like that. And so because he was very raw, I was able to hire him for very cheap, like Filipino wages cheap, and just train him up over time. And then, and then he was like super aligned on comp, like where his base stayed really low, but his upside was good. So he started making good money just on, percentage of retention and stuff like that. Right. So yeah, I mean, we both solved this by finding like, I guess, quote unquote, cheap labor that we could trust to do the fulfillment side.
Yep.
And then I also then found, like, I went and found the other side as well and worked myself out of it entirely right before I sold it. So that's how we solved it. And if that option isn't available, so that's the option I would look for, is like, oh, you got to like find that key person, I think, in an agency. But if that option's not available, then I think I would just go, all right, why don't I focus on the demand and like make a bet, like you said, know that I'm going to sacrifice retention a bit and just make a bet to get the demand. Because once I get the demand, if I'm like confident I can get the demand and I can get clients in the door, then I won't be so afraid to hire.
Yeah, you won't be afraid.
If I try something where I'm like, oh, I'm going to try this lead generation sales system and it works a couple times and I close some deals because of it, then I'm like, okay, well now I'm not so afraid to hire people because I know I can feed them.
Yeah.
And then you're building, it's going to be stressful because you're going to be building the airplane as you're flying it. But yeah, that would be like the second best.
It's something like animalistic when you're just like, dude, I got to close X deals this month to make sure that you cover payroll.
Yeah.
Something pretty crazy to like,
There is.
to live in that for a while. You're like, oh my gosh. And then you do it.
Yeah.
Bro, talk about, there's no better shot in the self-confidence fund.
Yeah. I think there's two sides of it. There's the side of it where you don't have a reliable lead gen.
Yeah. You like black out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, whoa, I had to rely on myself to get this done.
Yeah. But it happens. I don't know. Sometimes when you get in that zone, like I was just solo agency consulting and like working people's accounts through 2020. And it was this like survival mode thing from zero. It was like, I have no job.
Yep.
I need to spin up an agency right now and I need to go find people to help.
Yep.
And I went straight to network, not desperate.
Yeah. You got a handful of contacts.
But like, hey man, love the brand. I know we chatted before. Like and there were genuinely like brands I already rock with. And it was just kind of like, hey, if you ever need help, let me know. And then like, it was genuine. The outreach was real. It wasn't like,
hey, interested in your Facebook?
Yeah. Hey, you know, and like super long ask that sounds desperate. It was kind of just like, hey, I think I know where I can like help take your brand and would love to work with you. And then like next thing you know, I covered everything. Like in 2 weeks, I had 5 clients. But you have to get into this. Like, I think sometimes when bad things happen to us, like when we lose jobs or get laid off,
your back's got to be against the wall.
Well, it's so easy. The common response is to lean away from it, go complain, go cry to people, and like really like look for empathy. Yeah. Whereas like you should go a little dark, like you should go a little demon mode, and lean into the pain of that, and then just like come out of it. Like you said, you feel a little like superhero-ish because you leaned into the bad thing that's happening to you and you came out of it with a solution rather than like, kind of complaining about it. So I do think sometimes like if this guy's struggling for new clients or new leads, like get into that zone, get into this.
Put your back against the wall purposely.
Yeah. I know we all say like, lock in or whatever, but it's like, it's so real. Like just be like, leave me alone, whoever, I don't know if they're married or whatever, but like, let me do this for the next like 2 weeks. I'm just going to lock in. And like, if you're intentional about finding clients, I think it's sometimes turns out being easier than you thought. And if they align with whatever he's already doing, it's even better.
Are you making sure that you're getting every bit of profit out of every purchase on your site? A big thing I've been thinking about lately as the cost to advertise goes up is how do I maximize the value of a customer? And so there's really two things. I want to maximize their average order value when they are making a purchase on my site. I also want to maximize the repeat purchase rate and the speed of the repeat purchase rates. So a big thing people don't think about is how quickly their customers are repeat purchasing. They're thinking about how many of them are repeat purchasing, but not how quickly. Recently, I've been using Redo's post-purchase order tracking tool to make cross-sells on my order tracking page. So that means when I send the order tracking link to my customers, I'm making cross-sells on that page and they're getting product recommendations on that page. Now, this is pretty big because that order tracking email, that is one of your most clicked emails. So that is prime real estate. You got to be using that real estate to make cross-sells and make offers. Most people think of Redo as a return software, but they're actually sort of this all-around post-purchase platform. They're there to help you maximize profit from your past customers, period. The post-purchase experience is something I've been thinking about a lot lately. So I actually made a checklist. It's a 10-point checklist of the 10 things I do to maximize value from a customer after the purchase. You can grab that in the link below this video. If you're on YouTube, you can click below to grab that, or if you're on an audio platform, you can of course grab it in the show notes. Just tap down there and you can get my 10-point checklist for maximizing post-purchase profit. That is an excellent alliteration. Let's get back to the show. What do you do when an ecom brand is stuck? We make enough sales because of legacy brand recognition, but we don't hit the numbers we need to maintain our overheads and pay ourselves. I would like to grow past this.
Assuming
Are you running Facebook ads?
yeah, assuming frame.
Have you tried to use the ads?
You want more ads?
Yeah, you want more ads.
TikTok shops.
Have you added a zero to your budget? You can try adding a zero to your budget.
You scale?
I'm assuming they've tried that. Yeah.
And this is, I feel like it broke right when I was talking about this. What it drives me into is like, I'm probably going to most frequently purchased products, and what is driving? So my head is like, okay,
What you're trying not to say again is it's an offer.
yeah, I know, but like, why do I feel that is
Share an offer button.
It's your offer. Offer, bro.
And dude, it sucks. I hate going there. I hate it because we all understand. I know I need to make more creative. I know I can communicate more clear to my customers. But really, what you're saying is that for some reason they're not coming back and buying it over and over again. Is that a product issue? Is that like just the way it operates?
You know what actually might be helpful here? I don't mean to just cut across. Okay. Why don't we define the term offer?
Okay, so the offer is the incentive or the thing that is convincing enough for a consumer to come and buy your thing.
Yeah.
This is the literal offering from a brand that is providing as much value as humanly possible at a rate that the customer believes is a steal or a win for them.
Yeah. I'm going to steal this one. Hermosi has a value formula or an offer formula, right? Yeah. So it's an equation. So it's a dream outcome plus perceived likelihood of achievement over or divided by time delay, time and effort and sacrifice equals the value equation. So
What is service based?
Sort of. No, I think, I mean, okay, if I...
Is there a pyramid in this picture?
Is there a pyramid? So if I want to buy a jacket, what's my dream outcome? Warmth or looking good.
Style.
It's some combination of warmth and like style. And then there's a whole bunch of things wrapped up in style. Why do I want to look that way? What is
That's all personal preference.
Yeah, right. So it's like there's some sort of dream outcome. And the thing about it is the reason you're saying it's offer or it's service-based or it's info-based is because dream outcomes in ecom are not usually super strong.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's like clear skin.
Yeah, like this jacket's it's losing weight or clear skin or something like that. This jacket's not going to make me rich. You know what I mean? And so if you say, "Oh, this jacket's going to make you rich," like I just know that that's cheesy. Yeah. So what you have to be doing is you have to communicate.
Love that jacket.
You have to communicate that subconsciously. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, like just little things like price anchoring by like, okay, you got UGC. Can you get UGC creators that like live in nicer houses? It's very simple.
Yeah.
But like I've seen that work a ton where it's like a skincare brand or a sun care brand that I work with. They had a ton of UGC of just like mostly hot girls in bikinis putting their stuff on. And there was one that just crushed all of the others. All of the others were, they were like out by the pool, out, on the beach or whatever. This girl was inside the condo like in the bathroom, but her bat is like, oh, this is a nice place.
Yeah.
You could just tell this is a
that's
nice place.
Yeah.
And that's all and I've showed this to tons of people and I said, how much do you think this product's going to cost? So like, how much do you think this t-shirt costs type of thing. Right. And people are like, oh, $25, $30. And it's like, damn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, why do you think it was going to cost so much? And they go, I mean, obviously she's aspirational. She looks like she's pretty like wealthy or whatever, like she's in a nice spot. And so like, I just figured it. And also you can see the size. So that's another thing. It's like, if you sell a thing that has a size, show the size if it's big, right? Like you sell a big blanket that covers the couch, show the size. I mean, these are very simple tactical things, but like, those are the basics. Are you doing that? Like, dream outcome is just this sort of like, it's not super, your product's not going to change somebody's life. So are you just showing somebody that like, oh, this is going to help you do the thing that you're trying to solve with this. It's going to keep you warm and make you look good.
Yeah.
And then time, delay, and effort and sacrifices. How long is it going to take me to achieve it? And like, how much am I going to have to, all the effort and sacrifices to basically price here. Right. Sorry. I kind of across you. And then, but yeah, the offer I think is basically, it's like, how likely are you to do the thing that they really want from buying your product? And like, how much input is there from that?
So you have like this scale that you use to talk about in marketing. It was like, what is the easiest thing to do with the highest amount of leverage? And the first thing is like, I can make more ads.
Little hinges that swing big doors.
Little hinges that swing big doors. That little hinge that swings big door is the framing of the offer.
Yes.
Because you can shift AOV, you can shift conversion rate, you can shift retention. You can do a lot of things.
It's a $20 hat.
Yeah. Like that's
Easiest, like
that's just
I'll just say it. Like,
yeah.
So when we have like, I thought of this on the fly, but it was just kind of like, we have certain hats that like just sell out in 2 minutes and certain hats that like stick around, Yeah. And so one day I was just like, well, that one's been sitting there for a little bit. It's still a great hat, but I don't advertise it much. Like, let's do a $20 hat day for 24 hours, surprise offer, right? And it's just like, surprise email. Can you believe this hat's $20?
Yeah.
And we actually are internally like a little shocked by it too, because we normally would never do that.
Yeah.
But we're like 24 hours surprise offer. It's not going to bring in high LTV customers or anything, but it's
that's not the goal.
No, it's not the goal, but at the same time, it's a little boost to your revenue and a little like, it's also a feel good like campaign to send out to your customers to be like, hey, today we're just rewarding everybody. This hat's great, $20. Like if you can think that that's just another like offer or reframe, right?
It is.
And same thing though, like what you said, it's just like change up what you're selling and how you're selling it. And I think sometimes people want to like ask something like this and get these in-depth roadmap answers, and they like avoid the simple one. It could just be the offer, and then this person changes that and it all works better.
I've just seen like the level of improvement from the focus of the offer. And now what goes into this? I have to think about the margins. I have to think about the products. Do we have the products? Do we have the money to sell it? Do we have the ability to make the pages? Like, yes, there are things invested in this. But if you're talking about what is on the list of things that I could do to turn things around, they've literally said, we're making no money.
Yeah.
If you're making no money, you have to do a fundamental shift, because if you just keep doing what you're doing, you're just going to keep not making enough. So it has to go exponential into the to the right.
Yeah.
That's why it's offered.
It's an offer. So I would just kind of tactically put it this way. It's like, okay, your acquisition offer is not able to scale. Like whatever you're advertising, you're bringing people in, and you cannot do that at a rate where like you can scale up. That's what your problem is right now. So in ecom, in physical products, the most common way we kind of like fix this or talk about this is pricing. And everybody's like, oh, I don't want to lower my prices. I'm like, well, you're probably gonna, like, people aren't buying that. So what you probably need to do is you just
bundle.
You go up. You can
you can test your price.
Then you have to convince them on value.
Yeah, you could test but that's what I'll just test the price. Find your profit. First thing to do, just find your profit maximizing price, right? So just test the different prices, and then from there you can try and like build value into the offer and stuff like that. But it's probably step one. And then I would say like regular retention offers to offset some of that. So if you have to lower your price so you're acquiring with less margin, or you're just like, whatever it is, it's like, we just can't acquire with very much margin. Then it's like, all right, well, can we do a bunch of like regular limited time offers, like $20 hats that will raise our AOV or our LTV more quickly and give us more cash so that we're able to acquire with not very much margin.
Yeah. I would say just be careful with that cadence too. Because
Yeah, I mean,
you don't want to, some people do want to, but you don't want to become a flash sale brand. I wouldn't want to.
You wouldn't want to. There are plenty of brands that do, and they do really well.
Yeah, we were talking about yesterday. Somebody's like always 50% off.
Yeah, no, I mean, their diesel power gear that we used to work with offers every week, giveaway going all the time. You know, like, so there are some brands that do, and they do really well. Yeah. You might be like, oh, that's off brand for us. Well, is on brand losing money? So, you know, like
brand doesn't exist.
Brand doesn't exist. So yeah, that would probably be the tactical here. Your other option is to become an internet celebrity or find an internet celebrity.
I do wonder if there's like a good channel mix in all this too.
There could be some fundamental, like, you know, should we be running Google ads or Meta ads or TikTok or stuff? I'm going to assume that they're getting all of that more or less right.
Yeah.
And all of those things work for ecom brands. I guess if you're doing like, you know, traffic campaigns, maybe do conversion campaigns, you know, like.
Yeah, I like traffic campaigns.
Yeah. Okay. So hire somebody who runs paid traffic from MentorCast to come look at all your stuff, you know, and then if that's all going well.
So yeah. If not, just fire everybody and start over. Everyone make them a robot.
Yeah. 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 Or get really good at organic content, become an internet celebrity. It's your other option. So if this is the first episode you've ever listened to and you liked it, then don't subscribe. Specifically, do not subscribe yet. Make sure you watch another episode. And if you like that one, then subscribe.
Yeah. Or just subscribe.
Yeah. I guess.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye.